All right, boys. I think you can see us now. Sorry about that. How is everyone?
We're back again.
Jaws, Nagy, straight in, boys. Love it. Sorry
I
about
love it.
that.
How we doing?
Hang on, I've even got some fucking loot going now. There we go. Technical difficulties. Bit of a rush today, lads. So but we're here now, so all good. Um, yeah. So Sam's got a new job, so it's a little bit tricky with the schedule at the moment, but
We'll get it back to
we'll get it
a
back.
uniform time. Yeah.
How are you, Jaws? What are you boys up to today? Busy day at work, chilling out. I did a bit of housework today as well, which is good.
Yeah, nice, mate. Get it all sorted.
Yeah, and fuck, I tell you what, this Dyson purchase sent me back an
Oh,
arm and a leg. But when
oh,
you
mate, they're
when you
bloody good.
when you're cleaning up with a laser coming out the front of your vacuum, it's worth it
Yo,
just for
yeah.
that.
What fucking Dyson did you get, mate?
I think it's
The
the
V
V.
fucking 12,000? What's that? What's going
Yeah,
on?
it's the V15. Like it was.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
V15.
it was expensive.
How much do they set you back now? Like 1,200 or
I
something?
think it was about 1550.
Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
it was
Does
expensive,
it,
but
does it fly? Does it speak? The new one? What's going
look, pretty
on?
much the only difference is it's got a laser that comes out the front, which I could have just sticky taped the laser on the front. But it is like therapeutic though. Like, like
What's the laser? What's the laser do? Just tell you where you're pointing the vacuum.
yeah, it just detects dust.
You're gonna go over with the vacuum
Yeah, and
anyway.
you don't even need to vacuum over it. Just it sees the dust and just cleans it instantly.
Oh, just evaporates the dust, does it?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, one of the
Wow.
better purchases that I've made for sure makes doing the housework a little bit
Keeps the
easier.
missus happy.
Keeps the missus happy. Cooked some chicken and rice today, trying to get a little bit lean for Europe coming in a few weeks' time. So yeah,
Get shredded.
yeah, got to try, mate. It's proving difficult when you smash beers all weekend. So anyway, back to Supercoach.
Enough about Dysons.
Snaggy, how are you, mate?
How did you boys go this week? What did you guys score?
Oh yeah, so yeah, let us know what you score, boys. I'm curious. I reckon Snaggy's had another good week. Jaws, I'm hoping you listened to us and held Laddams for one more week because he actually did all right. Did he not?
He did all right. He did all right. But I do remember Jaws saying
There's
over my
nothing
dead
you can
body.
say.
Yeah.
Oh, nice score, Jaws. Nice, getting back there. Snaggy as well. Beautiful.
Yeah, nice boys, nice. Fuck lads.
Did you get rid of
I'm
Laddams? I was
gonna
thinking
say he
about
did.
this. I was thinking about this as soon as his score rolled off on was it Friday night? I was just thought of you, Jaws.
Yeah, we're
Thought of
just
poor old
laughing.
Jaws. Yeah, no, fair enough,
Yeah,
mate.
that's all right.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I
Yeah, so I
scored
think
23.44, which I thought was going to be better, but still top 28%. And what you got 24?
24, 20 odd, 24, 16 or something, I think.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah, and you were top 15%.
Yeah.
So as we were saying, like it's crazy. You can have an 80-point difference and be 13% difference, like almost double behind. Like it's
Yeah, it's crazy. It was a pretty tight week.
ridiculous.
Yeah, a lot of people having big scores.
Yeah. So we were gonna
Um,
try and get on and do like a Friday one, but it just didn't pan out. And yeah, there was a bit of chaos since we last
Supercoach, fucking
been
chaos.
on. So did either of you boys have Bruce? Because we both did, and we both traded him. You traded him as well, Sam.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it was carnage. I had Bruce, Hayes, and Huge Dick in my ruck, and going into the weekend, I didn't know if any of them were going to be playing. So
Yeah.
luckily, Hayes was named, which we thought he was going to be. But
Yeah.
I was thinking about benching Bruce and holding on to him. But with the buy coming up as well, he just needed to get the chop.
Yeah.
So I brought in Darcy, and I was pretty happy with that over the weekend.
Yeah.
141, so
Big
it was a good
score.
trade,
Yep.
big score. Yep. And I brought in Mitchell in the midfield as well as a bit of a pod action because we're trying to catch up on overall ranking. So
Yeah, he scored. He actually had a really good game. I thought he would have scored
yeah, like
higher.
30 disposals or something. Only scored like 85. So classic Tom Mitchell.
Yeah. So what did Snaggy got rid of Bruce for Gorn because I wasn't sure if Hayes was going to play or not. Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think it would have been nice if we did sort of get on here because we were pretty confident Hayes was going to play. He was named on the bench, but Finlayson was named as their main ruck, and they're just not going to expose Finlayson for a full game. And even if they were expecting a little bit of wet weather, and I think that was their main concern because in the second half, when it did start raining in that game, Hayes did slow up a little bit. He didn't. Mind that want to become famous by followers.
Primes and viewers on mountviewers.com. What the fuck? What? Get the fuck out of my channel, you fucking random cat.
Where's the Nightbot? Get her out of here.
Get her out of here. Fucking Jules not allowed to say anything, but we got this fucking trash talking in the channel.
I think Mount Viewers is trying to say we don't have too many viewers in the chat. So, just starting out, mate. All right, just starting out. We'll be all right. So what did I do? I ended up going Bruce because I thought, I actually needed him for my round 13 bye, and that's when I was sort of planning to get rid of him. But being out this week and then having the bye, I wouldn't have held him for 2 rounds if I knew he had an injury or something. So it was time to go. We were debating this trade. I actually ended up downgrading because I already had Darcy, so I was it was ours. I downgraded Bruce to Strandika, or however you say it. Strandy. In hindsight, I didn't need his points or his money, so I really wish that I went with what I was originally going to do, which was Dante.
Villa Shelley or some shit.
Vicentini. So the reason I was tossing him up, and I think something to consider for everyone moving forward, is if you do have like an English or a Darcy Cameron or something in that forward line, is having him or another player that is a ruck forward that you can trade in. I was originally going to be moving Darcy Cameron into the ruck, so I thought I can sort of use cover that way. What I didn't think about was the fact that I was always going to be, I can't believe I didn't do this, trade Gawn in this week. So now I'm going to go Hayes to Gawn, and suddenly I'm going to lock my ruck out again. So I've pretty much just wasted the trade because I'm probably going to have to go from Strandika to one of those guys at some point.
Some point. Yeah, if you need ruck cover.
The only thing that slightly saves me is potentially could use Darcy Cameron as cover if I end up bringing someone else in and just trading Strandika out. Hopefully for me, he can come back and at least gain some money before I do that. But who knows? I don't know. I didn't have a look at the injury list last week, but I think he was still 1 week away with a calf injury. So he's actually quite highly picked. So I think a lot of people have brought him in just to sort of do that sort of stuff. I was 6%, so not too much. And the other one I did was Bond. 96 and 101 point win against the Eagles. I just can't really take a trick with my captains at the moment. I was just ended up losing to G in the leagues by 24 points, and that was pretty much to thank for either Bont or Zorko. But the reason I did that trade and that downgrade was because I wanted some money in the bank coming into these buys. I'm now going to be able to get Gawn this week. I'm going to have to go early on either Ware or
Owens.
Who do you think out of those? So I know we'll get into the rookies in a little bit, but who do you reckon out of those two is the more likely one or the safer option to get picked?
Yeah, I don't know. So I've done, as you'll see when you bring up my team, but I've done Gawn and Weir at the moment, just to see how it fits in my team at the moment. I might change it. I might revert it. It really just depends on when the teams get named on Thursday. Because with players like Whitfield and Taranto and other players coming back into the GWS team, I don't know if Weir will hold his spot.
Yeah.
If you crazy cat in the background.
Oh God.
Oh, God. Shut up, you little cunt. If he doesn't hold his spot, then I'll probably go Owens
Yeah.
in there, but we'll see how
Well,
we go. I think I
because
have to pull the trigger on one of them, right? So
yeah, well, I mean that's the dilemma for me this week is I think Owens is probably more likely, but I can't really do him without moving some stuff around. So
yeah, same here.
I might have to go early on Weir, but yeah, it's definitely a bit risky. I think Owens is more likely to hold his spot after he had a really good game and kicked a couple of goals. So yeah,
Yeah,
if
I
I
agree.
can try and do him, I think I will. But yeah, I mean, for me, trades this week, it looks like Hayes will be just going to Gorn, and Driscoll will either go to Ware or I'll try and get a Driscoll into Owen somehow through some loopholes. So the one good thing
Yep.
is I decided was to bring Bont and Bailey Smith in, so they're both in already. They've both got forward status for the DPPs during the week, so that's good, and it gives me a bit of flexibility there to move them around. So
Yeah, slide them up there.
yeah, that's right. I'll bring up your team. There you go.
Yeah, so at the moment, I've
So
got
these
rid
are
of.
after trades this week.
Yeah, it's just pending, right? I might go back on it and change a few things, but I'm just seeing how it feels at the moment. So I went Hayes to Gorn, and then I went, where did I go? To Koning down to Weir.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably still get rid of De Koning. Because I'll between Dakota or Dacos, but I'll probably just hold Dacos for another week or two. And it'll either be Weir or Owens that comes into the team as well, just depending on what happens when teams get announced on Thursday. So
Yeah, well,
that
yeah,
leaves me with.
the only
What's that?
problem is Owens and Weir both have the bye this round, obviously, so you're not going to be able to see which one.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, true.
So that's what I'm saying.
True.
Like Owens in 2 weeks' time is
True.
more likely to hold the spot, whereas Weir 2 weeks, you don't know. He's already dropped Hamilton after I thought Hamilton was going ham, so who knows what the coach is going to do there.
Yeah, he's gone a bit crazy, hasn't he?
Crazy with power.
Crazy with power. Yeah, that might change. So before it gets locked out anyway, I might do a little switcheroo on that, but I'll just have to do some Tetrising with my players to
Who
make
did
it
you
work.
trade out? It was you couldn't do those trades with Erasmus going out, could you? You had to do
No, I need DeConing's money.
yeah.
So I mean, I could use the fucking boost and get rid of Erasmus and bring him in and have them both. But
Hmm.
I could
No,
probably
no real
still
point though. Like right with the buy
no,
coming up, you're better off waiting around.
yeah. I think I can. I think I can Tetris it still by moving some players around. I might be able to get it to work.
Yeah,
But I'll just have to have a bit of a play and a bit of a think of which way I want to go. Like ideally, if Ware was going to play, I'd keep him in the team. But yeah, it just comes down to job security, really, right?
yeah,
So
that's it. Yeah, so that's why I think I'm gonna have to go early on one of those guys because I need the assistance for the round 13 buy. So yeah, it's just if I can, I think Owens' job security is better, so I will try and get him. I think, but obviously it's easy to get Ware, so I just have to have a little bit of a look. Hopefully they both hold their spot, and I'm worrying about nothing, but yeah, still got to have a
yeah,
bit of a look. Pretty funny about Owens too. Like I had him obviously round one, he got 2 points. There's plenty of people that have held him this whole time, and a few people traded him out only a few weeks ago. So yeah, and then he comes back with an 89, and he's a must-have. So it's funny how
yeah,
it all
no,
works around.
it, yeah, it's crazy, right?
Let's have a look at some must-haves or good pickups this week. Is there anyone you want to
Gorn,
talk
right?
about off the top of your head, Gorn?
Yeah, he's finally in that target price range. Waited on him for 2 weeks now, and he's gone from 620 down to 552.
Yeah, well, he's up at
Um,
even 670 earlier.
Earlier in the season.
Mm,
Yeah, his break even's down to a more reasonable number at the moment now as well at 119. It's pretty achievable. Which
670 topped out at after the Hawks game.
yeah, that's crazy, right? So
Mm,
677 down to 552. If you don't have him in your team already, or you still got Prus, or you're looking for a good R2 option, I think it's pretty hard to go past at this point.
yeah.
He's going
So
to play the round 12 and 13 bye as well, so that
yeah,
helps.
that's a massive help. And he's got two good matchups there. Like Sydney's, they're not the strongest in the ruck, and I don't know what's happening with their second ruck at the moment. If it's just Laddams or Hickey, I don't know if he's back this week or what's happening there. And then Collingwood are still using the Mason Cox and Darcy Cameron combo, which isn't hugely strong. So if, he's definitely got some really good matchups coming up as well. So if you don't have him, if you're looking to go from Bruce, definitely a good option. Can't really fault you on going early last week. Points on field and once he's in there, you're not losing. You're not really worried about if he's going up or down. So I definitely couldn't judge you on going early. Just worked out better for me to go Bont last week and Gordon this week. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm pretty happy to pick him up this week at 550.
For sure. If you had told me at the start of the year, would have got Gordon at some point for 550. I would have told you you're crazy. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was tossing up between Darcy and Gordon last week, right? Who I was going to bring in.
Yeah.
And I went with Darcy, and that worked out pretty well. Outscored Gordon this week, so
yeah, it's funny. Darcy still went down after the
down 10k, but his break even's now 68, so he should go up a fuckload.
Yeah. So if you can't, for whatever reason, get Gordon this week, he's not going to go up heaps. But then if you miss out on him this week, you've only got him 1 week before the bye. Whereas if you can get him this week, 2 weeks before the bye.
Yeah, a little double bite at the cherry.
Yeah, that's right.
Other must-haves this week, I don't know if there's many really.
I want to talk about English.
Oh, Tim Ing. Yep. 600k though.
Bit of a problem for me.
Big problem considering his break even's 55 and he's already at 600k.
Yeah. I was really hoping he'd have a quiet couple of weeks coming back in, and a lot of people thought he would. Like skinny Tim English lost 10 kilos while he was sick. Comes back in, whacks out a 160. I know it's against West Coast. He probably took all Bont's points, to be honest, but now he's going to go up another 30k if he gets 127, which is very doable. Who are they playing? Geelong, so that's very achievable against Geelong's ruck at the moment.
And then another 20k the week after that. So
so then he's got the bye. So my plan was originally to bring him in after the bye. I don't know if I'm going to have enough money now.
Yeah, bloody 630k. It'll be pretty hard to bring him in.
Yeah. I'd sort of made my bet a little bit by bringing in both Smith and Bont in the previous 2 weeks. I had a choice to do English this week, and I decided not to. Not regretting it, but that 160 makes it look like a bad choice. So
yeah, it makes it look like a bad choice, but we didn't bring him in because of the buys for a reason, right? Like our round 13 buys is a tough one for both of us, so we didn't really need an extra dogs player in there as it is.
Well, I did Bont anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, true.
So Brian can get 180 against Geelong. English can get 250. It would be the all-time highest score. I think they leave then normally the half forwards who kick 8 goals and get 40 touches. But double hundreds probably not too far away. Especially you can get around the ground pretty easy. And it'd be interesting to see if they name Sweet this week as well, because he was sharing the ruck a bit as well. So very interesting. I don't know if he's a must-have this week, but if if you're not struggling on the round 13 bye, and save yourself 30k by getting him in this week, it's not a bad option.
Yeah, I think if you don't need Gorn and you've got the cash, you can get both, and you're not struggling on the round 13 bye is a must-have.
Yeah.
All those things are correct. Otherwise, tough luck really. You're just probably going to eat another 30k on top of what he is right now.
Do you think it's possible to have all of Dunkley, Smith, Bont, and English in the forward line?
Mate, I might be there because I've got Trelaw as well. So I've
got, and then you can pick up Livo and you can have all 6.
Yeah, all 6, mate. And then I've got McRae in the midfield too, and I've got fucking McComb in the team. I may as well just have a full dogs team at this point in time. Look, we've seen with the dogs that like they can score pretty well independently of each other, right? So
yeah, that's the thing.
Like we've seen all of them turn up. So this week we had Dunkley 143, Trelaw 109, McRae 102, Bont roughly 100, English 160. So
we've
had games.
They can do it.
Yeah, proven they can do it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I guess yeah, barring injury, they're probably 4 of the top 6 forwards. So I'll
100%.
definitely be looking to try and do it, but I just don't know at this point if I'm going to be able to, even just with the money now. So my
Yeah.
plan of English having a couple of quiet weeks has not panned out.
No, it would have been really nice for us if you came back and just had a little like 75, 80 point game, right? That would have been ideal. Um, but yeah, it's going to be pretty unobtainable next week, I think.
Sicily?
Yeah, well, I've got it, mate, so it's not my worry.
No, but there's a lot of people that don't. I mean, I know he's in 47% of teams now. He's pretty highly picked up.
That's
Started the
crazy.
year at,
I didn't think it'd be that high.
yeah, it's pretty nuts.
It
Well,
must have
yeah.
been nothing at the start of the year, right? Like, I don't know if you can see that stat, but it would have had to be pretty low.
Oh, no, it was always pretty high. Like, it was always at least 25%. He was always going to be a high scoring defender if he held that position. My
Mm.
concern, as we've spoken about before, was I actually thought Hawks would be a lot worse than they are this year, and I thought that there'll be plenty of times where they're 10 goals down in a game, and the second half, Sam Mitchell moves him forward for just something a bit different. He's not afraid to move the magnets around. I didn't realise that they'd actually be beating teams like Geelong
Yeah,
and
no,
the
that's fair.
Lions. And he's playing on the key defender, and he's absolutely killing it. I had a choice a few weeks ago to go Zorko or Sicily. It's costing me about 100 points a week at the moment.
Cost you a win against the misses this week, too.
Yep. Fucking hell. So she bought even Sicily this week, which killed me even more. So that was she seems to be making better decisions than me at the moment. But yeah, he's another one. If you're looking
635k though.
very close to being like, if you've sort of missed him to this point, like for me personally, he's too expensive. I need to I don't, as a Hawk supporter, as a footy supporter, I hope he doesn't get injured. But if he starts scoring in the 90s again or has a role change, that's the only way that I catch up now on that trade.
But
Otherwise, he's just going to keep sending it.
do you want him? Are you going to catch up by bringing in someone everyone else has got?
No, I'm
Is it
not
a
going to
bit?
bring him in. I
No,
can't. No,
you can't. No.
no. It's like the Will Brady trade or the Wits trade. Like when
Yeah,
they were
can't
that,
touch it now.
you just can't touch them. Like this, you've got to try other avenues to catch up, and you know, better to try and fail than not to try it all. There's 2,600 points off the top guy. So I was actually did a little exercise this morning. Had a little bit of time having a coffee, and just had a look at like who I started the year with compared to like the premium choice in that spot, and between about 5 players, it worked out to be about 1,700 points difference. And
Over the season.
that's not even including like the whole season. That's like when I like traded them out. So some of them were only for like 5 rounds, and like if you look at doing something like Sicily instead of Whitfield, or I had Lockie Jones
Yep.
instead of like Bowie, and like I'm not saying people start the year with like the perfect team, or some people have, but it was just interesting to have a little look through and going, okay, where have I lost all these points? And that is like 80% of them. If you get those picks right at the start of the year, how important it is to actually carry you through. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
next year I think I'll be paying a bit more attention to the percentage of teams picked, and
Yeah, you have to do that in a way, right? And you have to pay attention to preseason form, but it's also fun having some point of difference in your
oh,
team, right? Like you
absolutely, yeah.
don't want to have the same team as everyone else. So
There's reasons we
sometimes,
picked those players up. Like I was having a look at Luke Jackson, for example. You look at the Gorn in the same time as his career, and Gorn was only scoring 60s, and Jackson's now averaging 85. So I've got no doubt whether it's next year or the year after, he'll get up and be over that 100 average. But we may have gone just a little bit early on him.
yeah,
He's
took the
certainly
gamble
the
there.
player that can do it, and he's got that high ceiling we've seen, but just not able to do it week in, week out. So something that I've definitely learnt this year anyway.
Yep.
I don't know who else is really a must-have before the buy. Like Brayshaw's at a really good price now. He's at 536. I just don't know if he's a top 8 forward. Mid. 5 round average is only 100. He is really cheap though, and he does have a good buy. So if you're chasing someone in the low 500s, he's a good option. Is there anyone else that you can sort of think of that you don't really want to be trading this week if you can sort of avoid it? But
yeah. So I'm gonna look at the player list now. Not really, right? The only people you want to really be bringing in this week are people with the round 14 buy, right? You want people for the next 2 rounds. No point trading in someone that's not playing this week or only going to play 1 week.
Luke Ryan had an absolute ripper of a game, and he's only 450 in defence. So he's with a break even of 23. If he can turn that around, like his role was back on the weekend, he had 100% disposal efficiency with 30 touches. So
yeah, that's crazy,
ridiculous. But he's a ridiculous price as well. So if I didn't have to look, get Gorn this week, I'd certainly be looking at someone like him. Sort of hasn't had a really good year, but can always turn it around. Don't really know if there's anyone else that.
I think it's
rookies.
And apart from, rookies, you've got obviously Ware and Owens that'll come back.
Yeah, so
for the week after.
Most people are going to be having trouble with the round 13 bye, so
yeah, they're 2 pretty good players for that round if they get named. Holy fuck, cat, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. I don't know, mate. Wants to kill something, probably. I don't know. Fuck.
The dog must just look at it and go, what the fuck?
Yeah. I actually had a bit of a biffo last night and the cat came out on top. So
yeah, nice, as you'd expect.
As you'd expect. Rookies, like if you need people for round 13, hopefully Owens and Weir will be back.
Yep.
Apart from that, there's not a whole lot really, right?
No, not really. Butler, not really an option. He's still cheap and he's got a good buy. If you need someone for both round 12 and 13, he's like a maybe, but he's going to be like a similar to like a Ward and a McDonald. He's just going to tick along at scoring 50s a game. He's not going to go crazy. I can't see him really kicking 5 or 6 goals like some of these other guys can. He's really the only rookie that's got the last buy. As we're saying, if you need to try and get someone in this week and you got a downgrade option, Owens looks like he's got the best job security. Be interesting to see what happens with Strandy because he's obviously got one of the lowest break evens. Joel Jeffrey absolutely sending it. But I
can't believe Richard on that pick.
Yeah, if you're watching Richard, shout out to you, mate, for that one. Like I he was just out of my conversation just because of the round 13 buy, pretty much. But I mean, if you're right for the round 13, then it was a great pickup. He's already gone up 61k and still negative 77. So we'll be going up similar crazy. Again. Just unsure about those small forwards in those roles. Like same with Butler. Just they're bound to put in that low week and stall that scoring as we've seen from Buku, Rioli, those types of blokes. So yeah, they're a couple of blokes. Otherwise, you keep a watch on Cleary for this week. There's always a possibility he gets named.
Could get named. Yeah.
I don't think so with some of the guys that got coming back in Jaray's bit. So I don't think he'd be coming back in, but especially in a 100-point win. But you don't know. So one to keep an eye on moving forward anyway. Otherwise, just general buy strategy, I guess. I'll show you tell you what I'm thinking, and I think most people should look at doing something like this, especially if you're a little bit short on the 13. So that was half the reason for the downgrade last week, is I've got cash in the bank to sort of start doing this sort of stuff. So I'll probably go this week. I'll go, as I said before, Hayes to Gawn, Drizzy to Weir. Then the following week, I'll bring in Owens for someone downgrading. I've got the option of doing someone who's got the round 13 bye, so a De Koning or a McCartan. And then I'll also look at doing maybe the other one of those and try and get in a midfielder or a premium that's coming off that round 12 bye. So for me and for most people, the options will be, if you don't have Hewitt or Doherty, they're going to be coming off the round 12 bye. Cripps, obviously, Parrish, I've got them already. Merritt is going to be really cheap.
Yeah, I like Merritt. It's a good pick.
Yep, 1% of teams, 520. Scoring's been good, 5 round average of 100, similar to Brayshaw. Apart from that 157, that 1 week of 57, he's actually been going pretty good. He's got 100 for the every other week bar 99. So his scoring's pretty good. Seems to be sort of hitting a bit of form. 130 last week, break even to 75. He'll be going up. He could definitely be one that I'll be targeting. And the other one I think that most people will be looking at is Walsh. 115, he'll most likely start going up. He's had a 3-round average. I think his 3-round average is the second highest. 135, looks like he's got a good role now.
Huge.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he's one of the highest scoring players for the rest of the year, to be honest. So he'll definitely be one I'll be looking at. If obviously 110k, you got to think, what can you do with that money? Will it gain you more points than what Walsh will score over Merritt? So that's your toss up. Is there anyone else I'm missing out of those two teams, or that's coming off that first bye that people could be looking at?
If you don't have Sinclair already, I guess that's probably a decent one to pick up.
Yep.
I don't have him. I'll probably be looking at getting him. My original strategy was to do this after the round 12 bye, just get him in. Obviously hasn't helped me too much that he's just popped off 2 weeks in a row and he's gone up a fair bit in price. But yeah, he's a pretty good player, and I think at least while Steele's out, he'll be a good pickup at that price.
Yep, definitely agree. He's got a very,
and then
what's his 3-round average? 128, so he's sending it. Break even at 54. It's projected change. It's not in because he's thing, but it'll be another 20k or something.
Yep, easy. Obviously his role might change a little bit, and he'll probably won't score as high when Steele does come back later in the season. But you'll be racking the points between now and then, I'd say. So, what's Steele's ETA? Do we know?
I was just having a look to see if the injury list has been updated, but I don't think it has. I'll just reload.
Expected to be available for around 16 to 18, I think.
Yeah, so he's probably one that you for 4 weeks, but that was updated today. So around 12, around 16-ish. They're probably not going to rush him back, but
yeah,
Saints will be pushing for finals, so they'll want to get him back in as soon as possible. I'll have a look at their bit of a fixture, have a bit of a look, but he's definitely one that you can keep an eye on. Probably not the first game back, but then once he's had that bit of a price drop, he'll be around 550 or something. So a bit of a sideways trade from an injury or something a little bit down the track. I know a lot of people were planning on bringing him in after the buys, but obviously that's turned south. So yeah, don't know if there's any other real good options. Like if you don't have Butters, I don't think he's one that you'd want to pick up.
Not really. I mean, if you picked from the start, great. He's had a couple of good performances. It's a bit of a risk to bring him in now, I suppose, but it just depends what kind of money you're working with and who you're replacing.
Jaws has said, I need a player under 520k with around 14 buy to help next week. Otherwise, I'm going to be short next week.
Do you want to bring his team up?
Oh, yeah, I do have your team. Something I prepared earlier. Sorry, it's in pain. I don't know why my computer's doing this, but anyway. I don't know of anyone under 520k Jaws, but I would be doing everything in your power to try and get Gorn in, I think. Because he's 550. If you've got to do another downgrade, it could be worth it. I Otherwise, who did we discuss before? Brayshaw's 527 or something, is he? Is he that low?
Oh, a bit higher than that, isn't he, I think?
537?
537, yeah.
So he's a little bit out as well. I mean, if you obviously do the 13K to go to Gorn as well, Hayes and Gibcus for Gorn and Weir as of now. If you can do that, I would definitely would consider that for sure. Gibcus he's done his job. He's been good. But then I only have like 14 or 15 players for next week right now. Yeah, but you know you're fixing that problem as much as you can. I guess Hayes is going to be playing next week. Bit of a tricky one.
Yeah, it is tricky. Just bleeding points in that R2 position, right? How much cash do you have in the bank, Jaws? Can you use the third trade this week or next week?
Remember, Jaws. Like I've got 15 at the moment, and this week I'm bringing in 2 players that will definitely be playing that week. So one's for Hayes and one's for Drizzy. So they're obviously both not going to be playing. So, Hayes will be playing, but 168 after that trade. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. So bring in Gorn.
Yeah, bring in Gorn and Weir, or maybe
168 in the bank.
Maybe if you can, Jaws, try and go Owens over Weir. I think his job security might be a little better, and then you can go Weir the week after if he's named.
He could do what I did, bring in Mitchell, sub 500, 498.
Yeah, but
480
you
now.
wouldn't go Mitchell over Gorn for what?
No, not over Gorn. Definitely not over Gorn. It's just if he needs players for next round, or for round 13, right?
He wants someone to come in that's playing both round 12 and 13, I think.
Oh, both round 12 and 13.
McCartan to someone, but only a 530 odd. Yeah, so Gibcus does help you out in round. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think it's bad to go early on McCartan if it helps you in round 13. But maybe you can do that trade after round 12. Are you short on round 12 as well? That's where it gets a little bit tricky. You got Brayshaw and Tracker. Tom Mitchell, I mean, he's definitely a cheap option. But I mean, you'd prefer Gorn.
I think you might be able to get him, to be honest, if you went Gorn and Gibcus.
Yeah, so you're all right for round 12. Yeah. So I'd be going.
But then you could go McCartan next week, slide Bontempelli to the forward line, and bring in like a Mitchell if you wanted to.
Yeah, well, I'd be bringing in, rather than doing Mitchell next week, you either do Mitchell this week instead of Gorn if you really want, but I'd be going Gorn. But then the next week you'd be going Merritt over Mitchell, right? Because then he's going to go round 13
Merritt's got
and
this
14.
And 14. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, just you're all right for this week, mate. So I'd definitely be trying to get Gorn in this week. I'd be going early on. I mean, you could even go from like Stevens to. Yeah, you could go Stevens to Owens, right? Do you have enough jaws to go Stevens and Hayes to Gorn and Owens? Saying that's. The other option is you go like Dixon to Gorn, and then when Wicks has his bye next week, you've got Hayes and Gorn cover, and then you can get rid of Hayes whenever you want after that. At least you got a bit of cover then.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Like if you can do Dixon, I'd be doing Dixon. Like Dixon's not really going to do you that many favours over the buys, and he's got the round 13 bye anyway. So, and that's the thing. Like Stevens is if he's not named this week, then he's got the bye. Like, how long do you wait? So yeah, I'd be doing maybe Dixon this week, Stevens this week if he's not named. Then the week after you do McCartan and someone else. Even do McCartan and Hayes the week after or something after they're around 13. Bit to play around with. Let us know what you are thinking anyway, and we'll chuck it in. But yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be doing Dixon over Hayes. If you're going to be short around 13, then I'm 9K
short.
Well, you might be all right to do McCartan early then. If you're going to do McCartan for round 13 anyway, do Dixon and McCartan for Gawn and
Stevens. Not Stevens. Owens, whatever his name is.
Yeah, so you can get Owens move Bont forward and then get Gawn in the ruck. Does that make sense? Does that work?
Yeah, that works. McCartan out, Stevens out, Owens in, and Gawn in. Yep, that works. Bont forward.
No, McCartan and Dixon out. So then move.
Oh yeah, McCartan and Dixon. Sorry, yeah.
Gawn in, Bont forward.
Gawn in.
And Owens in.
Bont forward, Owens in. Yep.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I'd be doing that. Yours, I'd be going Dixon and McCartan. And then the following week, if Stevens doesn't play, if he does play this round, then beauty, you're going to pick up a nice little price rise by the sounds there, and then you can do him the week after, and you just save yourself a bit of money. Whereas McCartan's not really going to go up much this week. If he does, it'll be a few thousand. So nice. All right, we said we keep it short. We were rambling on a bit now. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, mate. Unless you want to go over anyone else's team, but I'm pretty happy with what we've gone over today.
Yeah. How many trades do you reckon we should have moving out of the buys is probably an interesting topic. I personally like to have 5 or 6, but it's probably looking like I'd have 3 or 4 at this stage.
Yeah. So we're going to go down to 11 this week. I think both of us.
Yep. 9 the week after.
11, 9 or 8 the week after. 7, 6, probably 5 or 6 trades left.
So yeah, you should come out of the buys with a complete team, maybe 1 rookie on field, 5 or 6 trades left, and then hopefully we have a good run with injuries, and with no injuries, I should say, and
have a few luxury trades on certain players later in the season.
That'd be nice. And don't be afraid after the buys too, or like just coming off the buys, to bring in the loopholes. So as I was saying before with Dante, there'll also be an opportunity. There's a lot of defender mids that are going to be in a lot of teams. So bring in a defender mid, non-playing rookie into the midfield, so then you can get a bit of cover that way. I think that's
something I think I'll be looking at doing. Just downgrade to a 100k defender mid, and that way you got the possibility to swap players like Short or Hewitt or Crisp if you got him, or Sinclair into the midfield if you need him later in the season.
Yeah, because at this point in the year, we've sort of almost finished doing the cash generation. So you're either bringing rookies in for cover now or for loopholes, really. You're not really looking to get too much cash generation. Obviously, a little bit still nice, but you're going to have people like Clark and those types that are, a lot of people have got the Riolas and stuff, which will keep ticking along. So, that's pretty much it, mate. I think.
That's it, mate. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Appreciate the input as always. What's you heading off tomorrow, mate?
Yeah, fly out in the morning. Back to Narnia.
Yeah,
for a couple of weeks. 2 weeks, are you? Off for 2 weeks, and I'll be back to the promised land for 2 weeks.
Yeah, cool.
But we'll continue our schedule next week. I'll just be in a bit of a different environment. But we'll schedule it for either Tuesday next week again and get back to some normalcy, or maybe another night.
Just thinking about coming up for a weekend.
Oh yeah,
in a few weeks, so I might try and time it so you're back.
Definitely time it so I'm back.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Get on it, mate.
All right, no
Chief
worries.
and I will send it.
Fuck yeah.
Righto, boys.
All right,
we'll see you
thanks,
next week.
If you got any questions, chuck them in the Discord. We've been a little bit slack on that, but we'll try and look at it. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I completely forget. So I need a little alert on my phone, but I don't know if I can do that. So
bit too technical.
Have a good one. Thanks, George. See you, boys.
Righto, boys. Catch ya.